Hello! Welcome back to Dress to Quest. I'm Nathan. I'm the DM here on this channel, and we are being hosted by Gen Con TV. Thank you so much. We're a D&D cosplay group, and we're currently playing through the Ghosts of Saltmarsh setting with some modifications here and there. And our party is at level 7. Let's jump into some intros here for our players so they can all introduce themselves, and then we'll do a quick little recap and jump right into the story. Let's start with Chris.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris and I play Ayize Marley, a human Termitian wizard, and I'm looking forward to tonight's game.
Awesome. Next up we have Erica.
Alright, hi, I'm Erica. I play Rin Swiftbow, Beastmaster, Ranger, Wood Elf, and every session she normally summons her falcon named Bert, and I'm gonna miss saying that.
Yes, tonight will be a special episode. I know I said it last week, but things went a little over. This will be Erica's last episode for a little while. Erica will be out for school, and then we'll be returning in the summer. Well, with that, let's jump to Amy.
Hi everybody, I'm Amy. I play Chinyar. I am an Eldarin or a Ladrin, depending on how you want to pronounce it, cleric. Very much looking forward to tonight's episode as well.
Indeed. Next up we have Eric.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Wahlberg. I'm playing Volric the Grey. He is a human 3rd level Rune Knight. 4th level Rune Knight now. Nice. 3rd level College of Swords Bard, and he just got a curse lifted and got his eyeball back.
Indeed. And last we have Space.
Hey guys, I'm Space. I play Aspen, the Asimar, Divine Soul Sorcerer, Hexblade Warlock. I'm just excited to get into it tonight.
Excellent. And normally we would have Josh with us, but Josh unfortunately was unable to make it tonight, but we will see him next week. And yeah. So with that, let's jump straight into this and pick up where we left off. So last we left off, Volric was suffering from a curse that had been contracted from the Isle of Dread, a awful place that Volric had traveled to in his past. The island was trying to slowly reclaim Volric as pieces of his body were disappearing right before his eyes. In order to lift this curse, the party sought out a druid on the outskirts of the town of Saltmarsh named Farron, which Chenyar recognized, as well as to some extent Rin. Rin hearing stories of this druid from her mother growing up. The druid was able to conduct a powerful ritual within this grove of Sylvanas, dedicated to the god of nature, Sylvanas. And there were some bumpy portions of the road that happened. It seemed that the island itself was trying to fight back against the ritual, not allowing Volric to be cured. Our party had to fight off twisted tree monsters that came bursting forth from the trees, and the druid conducting the ritual was actually killed during the ritual itself. Volric, on the other hand, was within his mind battling the manifestation of the curse itself, a twisted bundle of roots dripping with black ichor, and the face itself constantly shifting into faces of people that Volric knew from his past. Thankfully, Chenyar sprung into action, was able to bring Farron back from the dead, bolstering Volric's resolve within his interior space, and he was able to defeat this aspect of the island, curing himself of the curse with the help of his companions and Farron the druid. At the end of all this, Rin pulled Farron aside to speak with him. Farron clearly recognized Rin, and it was revealed that Farron used to be part of Rin's mother's adventuring party, and that Farron was partially responsible for Rin's mother, Renly, passing away. It seemed that they were seeking some ancient artifact, and due to Farron's greed, he cursed himself, Rin's mother, and Rin's father. A curse that cannot be cured via normal magic, not even via the powerful magics of the Grove of Sylvanas. But Farron suspects that maybe this artifact that they were trying to seek might be the answer. Rin, very stubbornly and with persuasive words, got Farron to agree to take Rin to where this artifact may be. We will start from there as we see the rest of the party. Just making sure here. We see the rest of the party standing on the deck of the Diora, a ship resting in the harbor of Saltmarsh, creaking in the waves below. And Rin, you find yourself stepping up onto the gangplank with Farron. As you step down onto the deck, all of you see Rin standing there with Farron at her side. Both of them appear to be fully packed up with their gear, backpacks packed, sleeping rolls, everything. I'll let you take it from there, Rin, if you would like.
All right, just checking in. What time is this? Like in the morning?
Oh no, this is...
Or that same evening?
It's that same evening. I'd say like maybe an hour has passed, so it's like probably 3 o'clock in the morning because Volric was awoken in the middle of the night. It's very, very early, I guess.
All right. So, and is all the party there?
Yes, you see everyone standing on the deck of the ship.
All right. Rin walking up with Farron, holding her bow out, kind of hits the bottom of the flooring at the top of the ship, hopefully calling people's attention.
With a loud thumping of Rin's bow, you hear that on the deck of the ship and see her standing there with Farron.
Can everyone come over here?
Why the bags, Rin? A little early for vacation.
Rin, what's going on?
Trying to run away too.
Well, I don't have any letters to give, but Chenyar, I assume you know Farron?
Yes.
Well, as all of you, I believe, know, my mother. The reason why I even met all of you is because of my mother. Because of what she stood for, because of the world she wanted to explore and the people she wanted to meet. And she is not with me because of that very same spirit. That the illness that killed her is also what's going to kill my father and our friend Farron here.
What?
If we don't go and finish what both my father and mother have started.
I don't understand. How is this possible? Farron, what has happened?
I made a mistake, Chenyar.
When did this happen?
Probably a good 20 years ago. But it's slowly withering me away. And Rin's father.
In Renly.
She's gone.
Well, that's
So-
it.
What is it that you speak of here, Ren, that you must do?
Well, Farron, along with my parents and your friend Edgar, they were seeking something called the Light of Saloon. Ironically, something that was rumored to cure all ailments, including deadly curses. And I believe, and if Farron is correct, which I truly do, it should still be out there. And I think that could fix this.
And you're going to go with Farron and your father to see if you can find it.
Well, see if I could convince my father, but we'll certainly find allies that will help us there.
Chinyar looks searchingly at Bulric and the entire group, like empty, as if she has no words.
Well, that's a damned unfair thing. The same druid that lifted my terrible curse can't lift his own. And you have to go now? Like right now?
The curse, the thing that's killing my family and friend here, it's something that is eating away indefinitely. It wasn't livable enough for my mother. She could have stayed longer, but it wasn't living at that point, and I, of course, didn't know. I honestly thought that perhaps the village had some sort of spite with her, but there was truly nothing they knew that could have been done. But Volric, as long as I've known you, you've known that I've been questioning why I'm here, if I'm doing the right thing, and I think this is why I was meant to leave home.
No.
Rin, do you happen to know where you're going?
No. But we have a first-hand account. We got, I'm sure, much more than the rumor I thought that the life saloon was, so I don't think this is going to be a trip that is fruitless.
I only inquire because once we are done with our commitments here, we could possibly help you.
Yes. Exactly my thoughts.
And
Rin,
mine as well. I know she's in good hands with Farron. Farron is a good and loyal friend. But, Rin, we just got acquainted. I feel that my heart is breaking because I know I must stay and help to resolve this issue with the Sagwagan, but I want to go with you and Farron and help you.
I would love if all of you could come, but, well, I need to save my world, and you need to save everyone else's.
I'll lean over to Farron and say, you'll keep an eye on her, right? And look out for her. And more important, you'll keep an eye on Bert and look out for him.
Honestly,
half jokingly.
Honestly, I think that she'll be the one keeping an eye on me.
Then you'll be in good hands.
If she's anything like her mother, then yes.
And I look at Bert. Is he a toad now?
Yeah. Big toad on the ground.
Do this.
If you're wondering where we're going, it's very far, far east of here. I suppose now is as good a time as any to tell you, Rin. I hope you like the heat. We're gonna be traveling to the Anarok Desert, if any of you know of that. If you truly do wish to seek us out, we'll be just south of the Scimitar Spine Mountains on the southern tip.
Well, we do. And I, for one, will follow as soon as we can take care of this business. Rin, you've been with me for years. You're the greatest warrior I've ever known. You're like a daughter to me. Inside joke. And if you're going to go and I don't have your back, Then I want you to have this. And I reach into my backpack and I pull out that mithril plate that we had found in the Sahagin lair.
Okay.
It will take some training for you to grow accustomed to this heavier type of armor, but it is, as you'll find out, light as a feather and will allow you to do all the things that you would do as a ranger, or protect you much better. So I want you to at least take this. If I can't have your back, then this armor will.
Okay. Wow. That's a wonderful gift. So, yeah, Rin, you can add to your inventory that you have a mithril plate. You will. I think you will have to. We could talk about it later, but
At
Yes.
8th level,
Yeah,
at
let's
8th
figure out
level,
logistics.
at 8th level, she'll need the feet heavy armor.
that's super cool. Okay. That's super cool. I'm excited for the summer.
The new outfit when she comes back.
Yes. And a hat. Okay. Anyways, back to
Anyways,
character.
yeah.
I'll just walk up to Ren and kind of give her a hug. You know, you make us proud all the time, and not having you here is going to be a bit of a downer, but I know wherever you go, all that joy and all the colors you bring, you're gonna make your dad proud. You're gonna make Shinyar, your mom. You're gonna make everybody proud. Yeah. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. Oh, excuse me. I have to go. And I kind of just like run. I run back to the back of the group.
Thank you.
Chinyar will approach you slowly, and she'll look at you and she'll say, I can't go with you, but I would like to loan you something. Something I have carried with me for a very long time. And she'll pull out this trinket, and it's a pink squirrel looking with purple specks through it. It's a stone. And she'll look down and she'll look at you and she'll say, repeat after me. Yin Wei.
Yin Wei.
Yin Wei. Yin Wei. Say it again.
Yin Wei.
Good. So you rub with your thumb and you say Yin Wei, and she does that as she says Yin Wei. She rubs the trinket with her thumb, and you see a pink flash of light. And what appears in her hand after she's done that is a little faced squirrel. And she'll say, this is a trinket my mother gave me a long time ago. His name is Biscuit, and I would like you to take Biscuit with you on your adventure with Baron. Oh, what's that? No, this is Rin. Yes, she does look a lot like Rinley. She's her daughter. And just so you understand, the person who holds the trinket and summons Biscuit can speak telepathically to Biscuit. Biscuit can get into difficult, small little spaces that you won't be able to. Open locks, things like that. He's been very useful to us, the group, and has kept me company all these years. I would like you to have him on your adventure to help you. And when we try to find you, I hopefully will be able to locate Biscuit and perhaps find you as well. Will you take good care of Biscuit for me?
I'll take care of him, and I'll be happy to come home with him soon.
Biscuit looks up at you one last time, Chenyar. The eyes kind of get big, then looks over towards Rin and leaps off of your hand, Chenyar, and lands on your shoulder, Rin. kind of curls up around your neck, nuzzles into your hair, and sort of settles in as they look back up at Chenyar.
And to unsummon him, you say the same word. It's Sylvan for treasure. Not treasure as in gold, but treasure as in a personal treasure, just like you are to us. Please take very good care of Biscuit, and Biscuit will look out for both you and Farron and your dad. We will see you soon. And she holds Ren's hand, pats it a few times, and looks at Biscuit and says, "You take good care of Ren for me now, Biscuit, won't you?"
And Biscuit, Biscuit kind of nuzzles in, just like keeping an eye on you, Chenyar, as Rin stands there.
Rin Swiftbow, know that when we're done protecting Saltmarsh, the coast, and the rest of the world from this demonic god who wants to turn everything into the abyss, and we will get that done, we will follow you, we will find you, we will help you.
Volric, my father, funny enough, he was a ranger like me, and I just found out just this other day. And he lied to keep me from this life because he feared of what it would do to me because of what he had faced, what he saw it did to himself and mother, Farron. And anything I could say about your son will never remove the pain of that, but I know he understands why you wanted to protect him.
Yes, we do want to protect our children, don't we? Thank you for that, Rin. And thank you for all you've done for us.
Thank you all for being my friend. And save the world. I hope I'll be there to help you.
We will see you soon,
Save your family.
Rin Swiftbow. Remember,
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Aspen,
Really?
did you want to say?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Shinyar. I wanted to pull Farron aside,
Okay.
and whisper into his ear. If we find out that Ren has been harmed in any way, I will guarantee a spot in my mother's home just for you.
Okay.
Ren will tell you all about it on your journeys. Safe travels.
Thanks. Hey, you ready to go, Red?
He's ready. He's ready to go.
About ready, my friend. Right.
Okay. Farron kind of hikes up his pack and gives a quick wave to you all and turns and starts to walk down the gangplank.
Shinyar calls out after Farron, "Don't forget, if Biscuit takes any damage, he turns back into a trinket. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Don't lose him."
I remember. I know. Come on, Loris. And he gestures and the little fat toad leaps up onto his shoulder as he continues to waddle down that gangplank. Rin?
And Farron, know I owe you as well.
Oh, he stops once more on the gangplank. What? Does anybody else want to say anything before I leave? What'd you say?
I owe you as well for saving my life.
Oh.
So,
No. Consider it repaid. Believe me, I have a lot to make up for. Trust me.
Have a safe journey, and remember, don't let the greed get the better hold of you. I imagine you've learned your lesson.
Yes, I have. Thank you.
Excellent.
All right. I'm gonna go now. And he turns, starts to go down the gangplank once
Yeah.
more.
And another thing. Okay.
Oh my god, what is it? Rin, you are on the deck
Rin.
alone at the moment with the rest of the party.
One more thing, and Rin walks over to Aspen.
What's up?
I'll come back.
Oh, I know you will. I don't doubt that. Because if you don't, I told him he was gonna end up way, way under.
I assumed so, looking at Theron's face after your conversation. And Rin turns, pulling out from her packet, and she's holding the little flower from a few episodes ago. Give this back to me when I come back.
As you wish. I'll take it and I'll put it in one of my pouches.
I'll be back
We're
for
like-
it.
I know you will. If anything, I think this time that we spent has made me realize that you're like a little sister to me. And if anyone hurts you, I know you don't have the best relationship with your dad and everything. And trust me, believe me, I get that. I understand that. But I also understand that there are things that we have to do ourselves. And this is something you have to do. And I'm gonna cry, but I'm not gonna cry in front of anybody else. So, okay. And I just give her a big hug. I'll whisper into her ear, if anybody hurts you, though, let me know. I will.
Okay.
I'll be checking in on you. Okay. All right.
All right. Rin finally starts walking away.
As
Bye, everyone.
you start to walk away, you hear like a quick pitter patter of feet as Shifty comes out of the captain's quarters and goes, "Oh hey, whoa! I was dealing with the crew. I didn't know, Rin. Oh my god!" And he comes running up and grabs you around the ankles, giving you a tight hug.
Oh yes, thank you, Captain.
Thanks, Rin.
Sailor's farewell.
You don't forget, I'm the captain. That's right, I'm the captain of this ship, and I'm really gonna miss that bow of yours. Oh hey, Farron! Oh my god, what is it? See ya. Shifty goes and scuttles back to stand with the group as Rin, you turn and start to walk down the gangplank out into the darkness. You can still see some of the twinkling lights of Saltmarsh. Farron waiting for you kind of a little ways off from the ship, and as you approach, he kind of looks up at you. All right, let's go. We got a long ways. Here, this will make it a little easier, though. Take Loris for me. He hands you the toad. All right. And he wild shapes into a massive bear and gestures for you to get on his back.
All right.
Climb up on his back, and he kind of looks back at you all on the deck of the ship, and then looks off into the darkness, and we see Rin riding on the back of the bear as she slowly disappears off into the darkness, heading into the east. So, as we find ourselves here with our what would be remaining 5 heroes, but we don't have Shifty with us. We have our 4 heroes standing on the ship as Rin leaves. as you all retire for the evening, going to your respective chambers, you have a long day ahead of you. Coming up is the last day before the pending assault commences. So as we start the following morning, I will want to check in to see if any of you have any last minute errands you would like to do on this final day. And yeah, we can do that right now, and then we're probably going to go on an early break here as we go to the next segment of the show. We have a little bit of a surprise tonight. I mean, not a total surprise for those of you paying attention. But yeah, let's do this real quick. Why don't we start with Aize? What would you like to do on this final day in Saltmarsh?
I think I wish to visit a haberdasher. And
oh my god. Okay.
if
I love
only
it.
because to commemorate, our going into the belly of the beast again.
Yeah.
I was thinking also, I'm somewhat jealous of everyone's headwear. I'll be honest. Chinyar,
Yes.
you're familiar with the Hatter in town. Could you accompany
Yes.
me?
I would love to join you. I also want to go to town for I need to get some replacement goods for my Revivify, and I'm hoping to get something that might be able to improve my armor.
Shopping! Excellent!
Yes.
Aspen, you're a local. So you know the shopping spots, so to speak.
Actually I have to go give these letters to someone. Shifty will take you in my place, if that's okay.
Please, by the gods.
Shifty, they need your help.
Oh,
Shifty.
yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm coming. And Shifty comes running out.
I'll remember this, Aspen. I will.
Shifty, do you have a cold? What happened to your voice?
This is just how I talk, Volric, all the time.
All right, fine.
So, yeah.
To the Hatter!
Well, I know where that is. Aspen showed me where the haberdashery is.
All right. Well, let's trundle along then, shall we?
Okay. I was curious, Aspen, are you able to stay in touch with Rin? You said something that you might be able to?
I was gonna ask my mother to keep an eye on her for
Oh, very good.
While she did her soul searching thing. That's all I can do, really.
Okay. I was hoping that the trinket, since I've had it for so long, locate object we'll be able to use perhaps a little bit later to find her.
That's a really good idea.
Well, plus it'll be helpful because, well, Biscuit's really very clever, so, but you said you got some letters. Do you need help with any of that, or?
No, hold on. My screen is all messed up. What was that?
For a moment, it turned into Kinyar.
I think
I
Chinyar
did.
cast mirror image or something. That was wild.
She really did. That was weird.
That was very weird and disturbing on so many levels.
I don't need help. This is kind of something personal. And okay. I want to say goodbye to someone before we leave, in case we don't come back. Meet you guys. We can meet at the Empty Net if everyone wants to grab drinks or something.
Okay. I'm hoping that we can find some maybe perhaps additional armor. Do you have anywhere that you might suggest that would give us a discount of any type?
Maybe I should come with you then. Okay, I can drop these off later.
No, I don't want to take you from your task.
No, it's fine. I'm kind of nervous to go, actually. So I think I'm gonna be avoiding it until the last possible second. So I kind of just to get out of this situation, this conversation, I kind of just loop my arm around Ayuze, and I'm just walking him off the plank, the gangplank. I'm just like, yes, this way to the haberdashery.
Awesome. So you, all three of you, well, four of you, I guess, as Shifty toddles along with you, kind of rattling off various things, talking to all three of you. You eventually find yourselves being led to the Sharkfin haberdashery on the bridge in the middle of town. Stepping aside, you can see the individual who runs it, George, which I don't remember his voice or what he looked like right now. I will have to look that up later. But walking inside, Ayuze, what did you have in mind as you look around the store? And there's all manner of hats within here. George very eagerly showing you each one.
I was feeling a little bit homesick. Maybe something from the east.
He nods and like very excitedly takes you over to other portion of the store and starts showing you a wide collection of hats, ranging from there's some that are Chondathan, there's some from Cormyr, and then there are even a very rare collection that seem to be Thayan inspired, which is a little like he's pointing at them and is like, these are the edgy hats that we have on display. Until eventually he does come to a section where he shows you some Termetian style hats.
Ah, there we go.
He excitedly gestures to all the selection, and there's a handful, about 4 different styles resting on the shelves.
This is more for something that I'd wear day to day, sort of a street hat, not something super formal. That thing with the gems and the feathers, no. Although put a pin in that, I might get it for formal occasions, but this one, yes, this one.
He excitedly grabs it and carefully brings it over and places it atop your head and looks astounded at it, looking back at you all. What was this guy's voice? I'm just gonna go with something. And he just looks back at you all. It's remarkable, isn't it? Look at how well it fits him.
Hey, he does look dapper. I'm just looking at Shinyar. Wouldn't you agree? I think it suits him well.
Yes.
Fez seems to suit you.
It truly does.
Is, definitely the ticket. I'll take it.
Excellent. That will be, and we'll call it 5 silver pieces for that hat, as it is relatively.
I pay for the hat, and I walk out and show it to Chinyar and Shifty.
Excellent. Yeah. I love this subplot of hat upgrades just slowly happening.
It's like a DLC for the campaign.
Yeah, it's hat armor. Anyways, so as you walk out of the store looking quite dapper with your brand new hat, Aspen, Chenyar, you wanted to quickly get your replacement of your components, correct? For your diamond. That is easily done. We don't have to necessarily role play it out. You're able to head with, especially, I believe it was Ayuze that pointed it out the first time, but you can head over to the Merchants of Joaquin, which has a wide selection of material components. And going within there, you're able to purchase the 300 gold piece diamond that you requested. I believe that Aspen paid for it for you last time though, so you don't have to mark off 300 gold. You can just have it.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead. I think I interrupted Shinya.
Oh, okay. Chenyar.
No, I was coughing. I'm sorry. I didn't get to the mute button fast enough.
Okay.
Ayuze, yeah.
I wanted to, while we're there, just do a telepathic ping to the captain.
Yeah.
Ask for if there was any news.
Right. Yes. Last time you did like an info dump, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She says in your head, excuse me. Aize, I am anticipating to travel this afternoon to pick up some shipments. So I will be sure to inform the master either there, Farouk, and I will get back to you as soon as you return from your travels. I know you seem to have something quite big coming up tomorrow, yes?
Yes, we will be going on a mission into the Saugin there once again.
Oh boy, well then I certainly hope that you make it. Otherwise, that would be unfortunate.
Oh well.
Indeed.
Yes, it would be.
Just a little bit.
It's all right. I'm prepared. I'm confident, and I'm lucky, and I have a strong group with me. I am not that worried. Which is me saying I am extremely inexperienced, and I'm an analyst, and I still don't understand why I'm doing this, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh, you're an analyst?
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, that's right.
I assumed you were a field agent, you being out here.
Well, they had decided that maybe I didn't belong in the dusty archives, taking notes and analyzing intelligence as it came in, and well, you know.
I will say it. I believe Chenyar. Actually, for both Chenyar and Aspen, what's your passive insight score for both of you?
17.
17. Okay, and Aspen.
I have a passive insight score on my sheet.
Okay, so are you proficient in insight?
I'm not.
Okay,
no.
So yours is just whatever. Yeah. So, Chenyar, with a 17 passive, you do catch a moment where Aize and Captain Zendros are speaking to each other, and then the Captain Zendros seems to kind of like stutter in her conversation, and there's a little bit too long of a pause. It's kind of awkward as she's just sort of breaks eye contact with Aize and is like staring up into the right, and you see a smile across her face, seemingly out of nowhere, because the two of them are just talking business, essentially, just like about spell components and what's available. But you notice her almost as if she's laughing at a joke in her head. It's very, very minor, very subtle, but you do catch it. There's just this awkward pause in the conversation that seems a little strange. And that's all you notice.
Okay, so she's also going to take a look around the environment because she doesn't know what could be going on, right? And she also knows that there is invisible creatures that possibly could be talking to this particular individual, right? So she's going to be kind of on her guard and watching around Aize,
okay,
kind of protectively, as she's kind of assessing like if this is some thing between the two of them, or if she's talking to something that isn't seen.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception roll for me.
Okay.
Does the store have like necklaces and stuff like that, or is this just like a general store?
This store is a magic shop primarily, so it's a lot of spell components that you can find here, and then there are a handful of actual magic items available. Oh look, I'm Aspen. Hello.
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm so sorry, Aspen. It's so
I don't
bizarre.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But that's all that's really available in the store. Chenyar, with a 16, you know what? Just for the fun of it, Aize, can you roll a deception roll for me?
Oh, don't make me do that.
I'm sorry, but...
This is why I'm an analyst. 6!
Okay. So, Chenyar, as you look around, you don't hear anything. You don't see anything that would indicate invisible creatures. But as you kind of look back, you do notice that in that pause, both of them make really strong eye contact with one another, both Aize and Captain Zendros. So you suspect that whatever's going on is likely something between the two of them. So. But that's it. There's nothing, you don't really get much more than that. There's just an awkward pause in the conversation. You see her seem to be laughing at something in her head, and then they both make eye contact with one another.
She will observe this and keep quiet.
Okay. As the conversation we come back to Aize and Captain. I really wish I could pull this up. I feel like I'm mispronouncing her name. Oh, here we go.
It's Zendros, right?
Yeah, Zendros. That's right. I was right. Yes. I didn't have it on hand, so I was like, oh, I hope I'm doing this right. Anyways, Captain Zendros, the conversation between you, she goes, well, you're doing an incredible job, everything I've heard. It's remarkable.
Look at this bicep. See this? And I show her my pencil-thin bicep. Or I pretend like I'm just squeezing it.
You're just like stretching. Chenyar, you once more notice Zendros like pause in their conversation talking about sulfur components and things, and you see her this time very hard for her to contain a broad smile on her face, and she says out loud, yes, sulfur, it's over here. You know, it's bat guano is where it normally comes from. And then in your head, you say, yes, so strong. Yes.
Oh, no, this is a...
Chinyar's gonna play with them a little bit. She's gonna look at them both and go, and then she's gonna walk away.
Zendros kind of pauses for a moment. Yes, what were you saying, Aize?
I'm 100% positive that this link is secure. Also, my arm is like a twig. I was just saying, I have the arm of an analyst, but I have the heart of a field agent.
That's a really good thing to say. If you ever are looking for a promotion, you should hold on to that. I think Farouk would enjoy it. Anyways, and then she out in the store wide, she turns to you. Yes, here's the bat guano you were requesting. I know you used quite a bit of fireballs the other night. I heard of some big thing happening. So here you go. Anything else?
No, I think that's all. Unless, Chinyar, did you want to get anything else?
I do need something to help me with my armor in this battle. I don't feel I'm very well equipped. Is there any suggestions you could make?
Well, I would suggest that you head to the blacksmith in town. They might be able to provide something for you. You can head over to what is it called, the Dwarven Anvil. If you head, it's in the center of town, just a little bit northwest of the town hall. You could head there, and perhaps they might have something for you. You could, of course, put in a request for something specific, and I might be able to reach out to vendors and see what they have, but of course there would be a fee involved, because I would have to put the work in to find those vendors, do the trades and everything. If you're interested.
I am interested, but I don't think that there's sufficient time, so I do appreciate your kindness and pointing out where my next step should be. Aize, I'm not sure if you wish to accompany me, but you may join me if you wish to try and see if I can get some type of improvement on my armor.
I'll be happy to keep you company, although I assure you, I know absolutely nothing about armor. So...
Well, it will be the blind leading the blind then. Shall we go?
Archive, take notes.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm so fascinated. Maybe we could talk with the blacksmith and find out a bit more.
As the book flaps and
Good
speaks.
idea.
I think Aspen had some notes she was looking to deliver, but I don't know if she would like to join us or perhaps do the task that she was interested in getting done earlier.
I kind of is there a drawer? Oh man, is there like a drawer in town where I could like buy some jewelry or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that like in the direction they're heading?
It is roughly in their direction. There's a number of places you could try. You could definitely try the same bridge, the shark fin bridge, because there's plenty of shops on there. If you want something a little more, I don't know, like you could try the daily market, which is right down at the harbor. And that daily market, a lot of merchants that are passing through will set up stalls, so you might find something really interesting there. And those would, I'd say, be the like 2 spots to look.
Okay, yeah, I'll join. Yeah, I'll go in the same direction as them.
Okay, cool. As you all head back south down towards the main part of town, Chenyar, you peel off and you see the Dwarven Anvil, a small, actually relatively large building, blacksmith shop set up. There is indeed a big, wooden sign hanging over the entrance that has a beautifully carved anvil and a large, very geometric looking hammer kind of coming down on top of the anvil, and it is encircled in Dwarven script all on either side. Do any of you speak Dwarven, Aspen, Chenyar, or Aize?
I do.
You do? Okay. Reading it appears to be scriptures dedicated to the Dwarven god Moradin. And as you go into the blacksmith shop itself, you are immediately greeted with intense heat as you step inside, and you can hear the sound in the back of multiple hammers, kung, 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 and see almost like flashes of light from a back area. But there is a nice, simple wooden counter set up. There are many items and tools behind the counter itself. There are multiple shelves with all manner of, essentially, a lot of everyday tools that people would need in town. But there are a handful of like swords and armor set up, and you do notice that the sound in the back seems to be really loud and raucous, and there's a lot of work happening back there, and you hear people moving around and shuffling about, and there's nobody currently at the front counter as you step inside.
I look at Aize and I say, maybe we should venture back?
As a matter of fact, I do speak Dwarvish.
You do? Then you would also see the same thing, scriptures to Moradin. They seem to be like holy scriptures.
This is, I believe, and you could probably confirm, this is a temple as well as a smithy.
Aspen, are you with them?
Yeah, I'm just standing in the back.
Yeah, Aspen, I'll give you a little bit of information here since you're a local. As you stand in the back and they're kind of looking over the place and having this conversation, you know that this place is actually run by an elderly woman who is actually human. And she does worship Moradin. And she runs the place with her son, Jasker. And her name is Mafera, and they have a number of smiths that work in the back.
Okay. Do I see Jasker or what was the mother name again?
Mafera. You don't see either of them. The store is currently empty, so you are just in the front right now, and it seems to be unattended. But you hear a flurry of activity kind of behind the counter in the back, where the like smith is and all the workings happen.
I'm not sure. I don't think we can go back there, but maybe I can get someone's attention, and I'll cast Thaumaturgy, and I'll start calling for Mafera or Jasker.
Okay. What do you say?
You have customers.
Okay.
Help.
So Aspen's voice booming through the store, it cuts over the sound of the hammers in the back, and there is a notable pause as all of the hammers stop for a moment. You hear some kind of muffled like speaking, and then like some very frantic feet running from the back as the kind of entryway that leads back there. You see what looks to be a young human man, dark skin, is currently dripping with sweat and wiping his forehead with a big thick handkerchief. His arms are kind of bristling and muscly as he comes out from behind and looks over you all. I'm so sorry. One moment, please. Mom, we got customers. And you hear from the back, will you just deal with it yourself, damn it? We're really busy right now. And okay, fine. And kind of goes up to the counter. Yeah, what can I do for you? Sorry, we're really busy right now. There's some sort of big thing. Surely you guys know. Did you just swing in through town? There's almost essentially a war about to go down. We've been really busy. What can I do for you?
We're
Oh, yes, you there. What were you saying? And he points to you, Aize.
we're familiar with what's going on with the war. My companion here, and I point to Chinyar, is seeking better protection. And we would like to rely upon your expertise to give her what she needs. Apologies, Chinyar. I did not mean to interrupt you.
Oh, hey, Aspen. And he waves, seeing Aspen stand in the corner.
I was feeling offended for a second. Like I can't. You made this. You made my breastplate.
Yeah, I know. I did see you there. Look, we've been real busy. People come in. With Eleander's just riding us real hard. He's just, he's a real hard ass. Anyways, yeah, you're looking for something?
Yeah, please help our friend.
Oh, a friend. Okay. Yeah, what are you looking for?
She'll say in Dwarven, Warden's blessing to you. I would need some additional help with my armor. Is there anything that you can possibly offer? I see you're very busy. However, any help, yes. As Aize said, we are very familiar with the battle and we will be a part of it.
Oh, okay. Well, we're whipping up a whole bunch of chain shirts. So we got a few more of those. I'm sure we'll have an extra of those around. Making something to order in such a short amount of time, that's going to be really difficult, especially with Eleander sanctioning all of this work right now. We do have, we have some shields around. We got one set of plate if you really want to spend a lot. That thing has been, kind of looks back sheepishly and then gets a little more quiet and waves you forward. My mom, she spent better part of a year making that thing and was confident somebody was going to buy it right away. That thing's just been sitting there for years. I don't know what to tell her. You interested though? It's really nice. It's just expensive as all hell.
It is quite beautiful. I think I see it from here.
Oh yeah, you can see it right back there.
However, I have, as you can see, half plate, which has been enchanted. It's Mariner's half plate.
Oh my, that's beautiful.
It isn't mine. It's just on loan. I don't think the half plate I see, or the full plate that your mom made, is going to be much better.
No, we don't have anything enchanted at the moment. I mean, it comes through every once in a while. We just make really good armor. We don't have any magic folks around here, but sometimes if you can, we do commissions where we'll make something and work with Kelladek. He can be kind of a pain in the ass. So,
Kelladek?
Oh yeah, that weird creepy tower at the southern end of town. There's a weird.
She'll look back at Aspen and say, and with eyes like Kelladek.
You don't want to do that. Trust me.
Yeah, he's kind of he's hard to work with. But yeah, I'm sorry, miss. We don't have anything enchanted right now.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Of course. Oh yeah. Aize, was it?
Yes, I have no interest in buying armor. I can't wear the stuff for the most part. It interferes with me. But actually, I'll ask Nathan. Do I know enough to know about shields?
Like that they, as in they just. What exactly about shields? I guess I don't know if I understand exactly.
Yeah. Does Chinyar use a shield?
Oh,
she does. I have a plus. I think it's a regular shield. It's just a +2 to my armor class. Is there something better that this vendor would have?
Would a larger shield be better?
Perhaps, but then it would be difficult to move around.
As I said, I know little about this.
Yeah, it's more about the skill involved. I mean, sure, a bigger shield definitely in certain situations, but you usually want to
when they're really big like that, you want to be with other people. You know, more of a military application, less of a single combatant kind of thing.
And Chinyar, as far as I'm concerned, that armor that you're wearing, it's not a loner.
Oh, it is. I will return it as I had promised.
No. I'm pretty sure that, well, I won't speak for the others, but I'm pretty sure that you can keep it.
I promised to return it, so I would absolutely do so. But I understand what you mean. Maybe things might change, but we'll see.
Well, I'm real sorry, folks. I feel like I disappointed you. Is there anything else I could do for you, though?
No, just tell your mother if she's... What is the name of the pub, Aspen, that we were going to go later to?
The Empty Net. You should come by.
The Empty Net? If she's at the Empty Net, it would be my honor to buy you and your mother a glass of ale.
Yeah, that sounds great. Probably have to be after all this is done. Hope we all make it out on the other side.
Me too. I hope we live. Good day, sir. And she'll say that in Dwarven.
He says it back in Dwarven.
Well, good seeing you, Aspen.
Later.
As you all head out of the blacksmith. And for our final little thing here, Aspen, you heading south with your two companions into the weekly market. You can see a whole collection of stalls. What are you looking for specifically?
I want to find, if I can, I would like to find like a little heart locket.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little golden or gold heart locket.
Perfect. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Okay. 9.
A 9. Looking around, you find one vendor that has a collection of jewelry, somebody that seems to be passing through town. And it's all... You find one that's a heart-shaped locket, but the heart is very large. It's like a good 2 inches across, just a massive, like, gaudy heart hanging from a chain, and the chain itself has these big beads that run up it. So I don't know. Maybe it's what you're looking for, but that's what you find.
Okay, I can work with that.
Okay. Okay.
I'll pay him, and I'll just make my. I guess I'll bring us back to the Empty Net.
All right. The locket, the vendor is charging 5 gold for it. Okay. There you go. And with all of that, as your morning shopping comes to a close, unless Volric, you wanted to do anything before we move on.
No, so just I guess to give a bit of a recap of what he had been doing.
Yeah.
When he wasn't busy in the throes of a terrible curse, he had actually used some space at the Dwarven anvil to build his own shield.
Oh, amazing! Yeah.
And of course, craft it with the stone rune that he had used actually in the battle last session, and then he would have leaned on Shifty to give him access to Thieves' Kit, so Thieves' Tools.
Mm-hmm.
So he buys some because, as you remember, he was able to disarm that trap by himself when our rogue wasn't around, and so that might come in handy someday. He buys a crossbow and some bolts, and then he does want to ensure that there's a meeting that he'd asked for with now the name escapes me, starts with an A.
Eleander?
Eleander.
Or Ida.
Oh, sorry. No.
The Lord's Alliance
no,
guy?
Well, so yes.
Anders. Yeah. Anders Solmore.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Anders was going to set that up.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. All this stuff can happen.
Yeah, so go ahead. You can mark off all of... you can purchase all that out of the book and just use the prices that are in the player's handbook for those things. And on this morning, as the rest of your crew, Aspen, Aize, and Chenyar and Shifty all kind of return back to the boat early in the morning. You are approached, Volric, by Anders, and as Anders kind of waves at you, stepping up onto the ship, you're leaning there against the railing, the crew bustling about you. And you notice too, Volric, as you're kind of doing your morning routine and step out onto the ship, the town has been getting busier and busier with each day, and you start to see that east of town, where there is this big stone, like very militaristic looking watchtower, there are numerous tents that are being set up, and you can see various militia starting to pour into town, and you see people going through training exercises in this little tent city that's forming near that stone tower. And you notice more and more soldiers moving about town, as well as common folk that you recognize as being like fishermen and fisher folk are being led to that area by soldiers, and you are seeing them getting geared up and training for what is to come. And as you see this hustle and bustle in front of the Diora, Anders comes up onto the deck waving at you. Hey, Volric! You got a minute?
I do. I was going to look for you.
He steps up onto the boat and walks over to you. The council and myself, we would like to speak with your crew this morning. We're just putting in the final preparations for the impending assault coming up tomorrow. And we need to give you the final details. As part of this, I was able to convince them all to stay for a little extra time after our strategy meeting, so that you can have a more private conversation with them. We're not going to be doing it in the council hall today, though. I can take you over to the Hool Watchtower, which is that big building over there. He points at the large kind of stone watchtower that's on the edge of town. That's where the militia is getting set up, and Eleander is doing all of the final preparations from that point. Is your crew ready to go?
Yes, we are.
Excellent. I would be asking the captain, but I don't see him around right now. But I know that you two are kind of working together.
I think he's got a cold. I think he's got a cold or something.
Oh yeah, those things can be real nasty. And at this point, the three of you walk up onto the deck of the ship. Shifty coming up from some other errand as he ran off, and all of you are together now here. If you all are good for your morning shopping, Anders leads you all down off the deck of the Diora, heading east of town. Chenyar, yeah.
DM, I have a question. There was another individual that I saw in a vision. Was it him? Was it Anders?
Yes, the face of Anders as he's leading you towards the Hool Watchtower. You catch the features, and there's an immediate recognition. You've seen this face before in the strange swirling mists of your trances. And as you are being led by him, he does kind of sort of pull back and integrate himself with all of you as he's walking, and just kind of looks you all over and goes, hey, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. But where's Rin, by the way? I would like her to be here for all of this.
As would we, but she had a very personal, a very urgent quest that she had to partake on. She won't be with us.
Oh. Okay.
Chenyar will trip.
Uh-huh.
And she'll like go like near Aspen.
Okay.
And she'll like trip slightly. Oh, sorry.
Are you okay?
And she will very, very faintly say into Aspen's ear, I'm not sure if we can trust this person. And then she'll look at you and give you like, just so that nobody else sees, her eyes will just get a little bit wide.
Can you make either sleight of hand or deception roll for me? This is just to see if, like, maybe somebody notices with their passive scores.
Okay.
Can I help her?
Yeah. I would say because you are. This is definitely your expertise.
Okay. So I roll twice, right?
Yeah. You can. So it's up to Aspen. Aspen, do you want to give Chinyar advantage?
Yeah,
Okay.
shit,
Go
yeah,
for
I'll
it.
give her advantage.
Okay. That's the first roll. Second roll. 22.
22. Okay, cool. Then you're fine. Yeah, nobody notices this. Absolutely. So what do you pull Aspen in and you say this? What do you guys continue saying? And as you have this little aside, you can see Anders is still moving the group forward, talking with Volric about Rin, and you hear them recapping why Rin is leaving. What did the two of you do?
I mean, I've never quite trusted him to begin with, but why do you say this? Why are you telling me this?
His face is in one of my visions. And there are two more. One of the visions is someone who's causing great pain. I don't know if he's one.
Wait, are you the same vision that you had about me?
Yes.
You also had about him?
Yes, I have 3 quests. I think your quest is to help you with the pain that you have. She just looks sideways. There's 2 more, and he's one of them. And one of those quests is someone who's causing pain.
Can I do like a history check on Anders?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a history check. What are you kind of looking for
I'm
in
trying
particular?
I'm trying to recall if I like know anything about him, any secrets I've heard about him, or
yeah. Go ahead and roll a history check. Nate, you don't know of any dirt on Anders. The only thing you know of Anders is that he is really, really well liked by the entire community, and his family in general is well liked. They've always held the best interests of Saltmarsh in mind. They've always done things for the community. They've helped people in need. They've helped small businesses, and they employ a lot of people out of their estate as well. And his you do know that his mother used to be a council member. She passed away not too long ago, and he was kind of put into the position, into the council position, and is the youngest council member. But so far has proven himself and is overall liked by everybody. I mean, sure, not 100% success rate. There are people that don't necessarily like him, but nothing like that would catch your attention as being nefarious.
Okay, so I kind of flatten out Shinyar's her cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Keep walking, and I will message her as we continue to walk.
Okay.
I mean, he seems pretty well liked by the rest of the town. Do you see these dreams of yours? I'm very curious about them.
I can't explain much, but I don't know which one he is. And I feel uneasy since I don't know if he is the one causing pain or has to face pain that he's burying.
I mean, from what I know, he is the youngest council member that we have here. He actually inherited this position from his mother. And she just passed not too long ago. Maybe he's burying his pain.
Perhaps.
I mean, you still have one more person that you need to find, right?
Yes.
Well, maybe we find the last person, and maybe we can come up with some sort of, I don't even know.
I understand. I just needed to make sure somebody, at least outside of myself, knew this. And since you have the ability talk to others through how you're talking to me right now mentally. I figured if I let you know, then if something doesn't look right or smell right, then you can let the others know that something may not be right. I can't do that without giving myself away.
Just if okay, from now on, if you feel like anything is wrong, just look at me and I will start a connection with you, okay? And
Okay.
we can talk mentally. Okay?
Okay. I will
but
start scratching my ear to let you know that I need you to talk to me.
Okay.
There's a sudden as a horse gallops past you, dust kicking up, and you see a mounted soldier riding on it, two others following quickly behind as they push past you. And as they continue past you, they ride up the dusty road towards that large stone tower that Anders is leading you towards. You can hear the shouting of multiple people crying out, the sound of people clanging swords together. You can see multiple people in training as they're clashing their swords together, and instructors yelling at them. You see others with spears as they're running and charging into dummies as you approach this big stone sort of militaristic looking watchtower. There's one prominent turret at the top and some smaller buildings off to the side. And behind it, you see that field with all these people in training, multiple tents set up. You can see as well down closer to the river, there's some creatures that seem to be milling about in the water down there, and some other structures set up. And at the front of this tower, there are multiple guards stationed as you can see the big looming form of Eleander Fireborn, his red hair, his beautiful peg leg, broad shoulders, as he's currently having a heated discussion with some sort of military officer. And as you're approaching, Anders is finishing up with you, Volric. I'm really sorry to hear that, but it makes sense. I understand. I mean, family... I understand how family can pull you away from something like this. I hope it works out for her.
Well, when we have this strategy meeting with Eliander and the rest, we do have some other things at our disposal. I'm working on something with Shifty, and likewise, I believe that Aize had brought up that he has the ability to cast a spell.
Yes.
And your soldiers will be able to breathe water for a good time.
Yes, Eleander is very, very interested in that. I mentioned it to him, so that sounds perfect. Well, let me get you all settled in, and as he continues to lead you forward, Volric, as you look past towards the tower, you can see all of these people training around the tower itself, and something catches your eye because you see a tent that stands out from the rest. It appears to be made of more of like tanned hide instead of canvas. And out in front of the tent, there are these like beautiful kind of extended beaded decorations hanging off of it with flowers and bones and feathers. And out in front of the tent, there are a series of creatures which you immediately recognize with their long, slender tails and scaly skin, going through training exercises as these lizard folk in front of the tent are in training. And this tent itself is very large, with a couple of lizard folk standing guard out in front. But the reason that this really catches your eye as you look over is that you see that these lizard folk are going through these motions that are... they kind of stand out to you because the custom in which they're doing it is not what you would expect. It's familiar to you. You recognize some of these fighting moves that they're doing. They're doing an unarmed fighting regiment, and you recognize the strokes that they're doing and the stances, and as they extend forward and kick, and they do it in their own sort of way with this elegant, slender-like motion that the lizard folk bodies lends themselves to. And next to them, there's an individual that's leading this training regiment that really catches you off guard because it is not a lizard folk. You see a short, squat, dwarven figure that is moving with the same elegance and grace. And that figure looks very familiar to you, someone from your past. And before we reveal that, we're going to go on break. So when we come back, we will have a little surprise for you all, and we will continue the story. Thank you, everybody. We'll be right back. Eric, was there anything that we should plug here real quick?
Let's see. No, so I think we can just go to our break for now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and we'll probably have a little bit to say at the end of the show as well. We'll see you very shortly. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will be right back. Okay, we are on break. Thank you, James. I hope this pacing is okay.
It's fine.
Cool.
I mean,
we will, what we can do, because I do want to plug your show, and, we'll obviously have plenty of opportunities in the next few episodes, but at the end of the show, we'll give you some space to plug your show and talk about it. But I think... Oh, wait, am I...
Yeah, we're still live.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're just going to jump right back into this here and continue with our story. So, Volric, as you are approaching this tower, you can see this group of lizard folk off to the right kicking up dust as they're going through various martial maneuvers, unarmed martial arts, and leading the group that you notice this dwarven figure that looks very familiar to you. What I would like to do now is bring on our guest. So let me get you here. Here we go. As Volric is looking over, James, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and describing what Volric is seeing.
So you would be seeing a very squat-looking, well-built dwarven man who is taking the lizard folk through a familiar set of hand techniques. You would hear his booming voice at times, and strangely enough, the voice is recognizable, but for some reason when he speaks, the S's kind of slur as he's taking them through a couple sets of techniques. And the most enjoyable part, or rather the most interesting part is there's moments where his voice rises and it probably catches you off guard almost as if something you remember.
And the S's as well?
The S's would not catch you off. That would catch you off guard by more of an unfamiliarity.
Okay. And do we all hear this as you speak?
Yeah, I would say
I would say it would be more so you would hear bits and pieces. His normal calls would be somewhat consistent, but as he's either trying to correct someone or he's trying to emphasize something, those would be more booming and easier to hear.
Right. And so Volric's going to quickly assess for the S's that it's probably the fact that you're enunciating for the lizardmen.
Well,
okay, so Nathan or Brax, when you say familiar, is this something like, that's familiar, or is it like, that's familiar?
I mean, I'll leave that up to Brax. I would assume it's like very familiar. Like this is almost like seeing and hearing a ghost. Am I correct in saying that, Brax?
Correct, 100%.
Yeah.
You would feel that the voice you're hearing and what's kicking off in your mind, the last time you saw me, I was on the side of the boat, standing at the edge of the plank. The crew had decided that they were no longer worried and were going to side with Sergal, and I was one of the few that didn't, and they made sure I didn't make it by tying an anchor to the bottom of my shoes, dropping me into the ocean.
Right.
And that's the last thing you remember of me.
I say out loud, so that my comrades can probably hear, that can't be. That's impossible.
What do you mean, Golric?
Rick, are you okay?
That one down there, the dwarf, leading those lizard men through training exercises.
What about him?
Well, I would say I would know him, except that he's dead.
I look. Well, he looks
He
very
looked
much
dead to you,
alive.
Aspen.
No. He seems to be good at what he does. He's leading the. Well, are you sure
Are you sure you're
did
not
your
mistaken?
eyesight? Yeah.
Sorry, Aspen. Go ahead.
I know you just got your eye back and everything. You sure are you seeing okay?
Well, what I hear, and from here what I can see, that was the chef on my boat when I was captain here. When the mutiny happened, he was one of the few that defended my position, and his reward was an anchor tied around his boot and sent him to the bottom of the ocean. Nobody comes back from that.
Did you say chef?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I missed the other part. Was he a? I have only one real question. Was he a good chef?
The best. But beyond that.
All right, go introduce himself. Introduce us to him.
Well, first, I want to make sure that he's really him.
What's his name? Or what was his name?
Well, he goes by Brax to those that know him more casually. But his
Brax.
name,
The chef.
his name was Brunduk Ironanchor.
I can see why he shortened it.
Yes, and that's considering how you say he met his demise. That is a very, very unfortuitous name.
And we're also going up against. We're also going up against enemies that subterfuge and lies, illusions, and tricks, spies are what they do. I want to make sure this is really him. And I start walking down.
Okay. So Volric peels off from the group and starts heading towards them.
I just hold
I
the
look
other
at-
two back. Let it.
Yeah.
He has to do this.
We shouldn't accompany him?
Vorik can handle himself.
Yes, but I'm going to read his mind anyway. Volric's going to ask me to do it.
That's true.
All right.
Really? Does he ask you to do this often, Aize?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Aize, so do you look over at Brax and start to scan the surface level thoughts?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'll wait until Volric addresses him before scanning.
Perfect. Okay, so Volric, you stride, breaking from the group. Anders kind of taking a moment as Volric departs. Anders looks back over all of you. Oh, right. They did just arrive this last night, I believe. Ooh, this, he said he was dead? All right, I'm going to watch this too. And he kind of leans back and watches to see what happens. Volric, you stride forward, approaching Brax from behind. I imagine Brax has his back to you, going through these training exercises with the lizard folk. You can hear the lizard folk letting out sounds of effort as they're letting out that very distinctive, like, lizard folk cadence of their speech as they're going as they're throwing fists and throwing up legs, and they're even using their tails in some of these maneuvers. What do you do, Volric?
Brunduk Ironacre?
What do you do, Brax?
Turns very slowly. How close are you?
I'm probably about 15 feet away at this point because I'm walking towards you.
So you see Volric striding towards you, full armor.
So, just to kind of get a picture, how long ago has it been since I have seen Volric?
20.
Does he look very different or not?
But Nathan knows.
Well, I was just gonna say it's been 20 years, so Volric,
right?
You probably look pretty different, I would imagine. What do you think?
Plus, yeah, plus Scar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you would recognize me just by the way that I carry myself too, probably.
Okay. I'll slowly turn. You watch as I do, though. I stay in a very solid stance, as if always on guard.
All the lizard folk stop in unison and kind of curl up, and they all turn their heads looking towards you, Volric.
I'll just raise my hand to calm the lizard folk behind me.
Do you recognize me, Brunduk?
I do. It seems death hid from most of us.
Yes, last I remember, you were on your way to the bottom of the ocean.
A terrible feat.
That, I'll tell you.
A terrible situation indeed. However, it seems that the goddess of the water wanted me to stay. And with the last breath, as I hit the ground, the bottom, the chains loosened just enough. Swimming was difficult, but thankfully I ran into a small group of lizard folk. Lucky enough, they didn't want to eat me.
Thus your students.
Some of them. The small group that we were allowed to take.
Oh no, Brunduk, of course you remember you were the masterful chef as well as the master of hand-to-hand. Do you remember my favorite meal? It has been a while.
Kind of. Blackened scuttlefish with kelpweed?
Ha!
I think.
My mouth waters as you say those words. Indeed.
It's been many years since I've grown up with cuttlefish.
I can't believe you're still here. Well, I can say now, since I didn't get a chance to say then, I'm sorry about your father. He was a brave man.
One of the best.
Yeah. Well, I look over where somewhere there must be a mug or some cups for water and things during training, and I dump out the water and I look around and say, ale, meat, something, anybody. I look around.
And I just toss him my little flask that I keep.
Okay, you're with us. Okay, so
no, I'm not. I'm throwing it.
The flask,
chucking it.
The flask sails through the air a good 20 feet. Volric, could you just do a quick just straight dex check for me?
Can I do a sleight of hand?
Sure.
Okay, good. 'Cause I get an advantage on that.
Oh.
With my dex, it's not gonna be pretty. All right.
Just
go.
see if you catch it.
Yeah, let's roll this sucker.
And I do want to quickly cut to Aize. Aize, you start scanning the thoughts as Brax has this conversation with Volrix. Brax, what are your surface level thoughts? You are unaware of this because he's not probing deeper yet. It's just the surface level. But what are your surface level thoughts as you're having this conversation with Volric?
Concern, a shock, and after everything that he's been through, extreme protection.
Okay, so that's what you start to sense, Aize. As Volric...
Now, does he see images or no?
It can be, yeah.
So you would see a 20-year younger Volric without a scar, kind of standing on the front of the boat, as it would be the only captain's image I would remember that would actually come to grasp right off the bat.
Okay. And Volric, you catch the flask right out of the air, no problem.
All right. I pour half in each cup and I hand it to him. For unlikely recoveries from death to friendship and to, I assume, the coming war.
And he takes the cup and
okay. And as our mugs click, I'm going to do my best to deck him with a left hook.
Okay, so and you go in for a left hook. Let's see here. Go ahead. Roll an unarmed attack for me, Volric. And for the sake of this, I want to see if you catch this, Brax. So
awesome.
Let's have you roll a dexterity saving throw. I know this isn't quite how combat works, but this is purely for the narrative. So go ahead and do a dex save as he swings in for that left hook.
Do I happen to get advantage on this, or a chance to get advantage? Hello.
Roll a sleight of hand check. Another one.
Okay. And not a deception, right? Sleight of hand's better?
You could do deception. That's fine. Yeah.
I also have advantage on this.
Awesome.
Thanks to my runes. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, 24. I think that definitely will beat Brax's passive scores. So, yes, you will have advantage on this attack. As Brax, you do not see this coming until it's too late. So you gotta. Is that an 18, Volric?
Yep.
Okay, Brax, go ahead and make a dex save for me.
All right.
Okay, so Brax, you catch it a little too late as suddenly Volric's fist connects with your jaw.
All the right answers, but I find this hard to believe. I saw Brunduk die. My good friend, how dare you? How dare you pretend to be one of the most important people in my life? If you're really Brax, if you're really Brunduk, bring it on. Show me.
What do you do?
All right. So before he returns the fist, can I roll an acrobatics to try to grab his arm?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see here.
Well, this is so he's connected. You know, your face is, and now you're gonna try to reach out and grab onto his arm.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. And Volric, we'll treat this like a grapple check, so you can roll a strength or you can roll an athletics or an acrobatics check to contest this.
Well, definitely with my expertise in athletics, I will be choosing that.
Okay, go for it.
Since you're considering it a grapple check, do I get my advantage from squat nimbleness?
Yeah, is that something you get from squat nimbleness? Yeah.
Yes.
Go for it.
I don't know if it's going to mark it for advantage on.
That's okay. You can just roll twice.
20. All right. Well, it shows up twice.
I only rolled a 3, so it's just a 12.
17.
17, amazing. So, Brax, what does it look like as you grab Volric in this moment?
So, as he gets cracked against the jaw, without thinking, Brax brings the arm underneath, turns with that squat nimbleness, drops a little bit, and then flips him over onto the ground.
Volric, you land on your back. All of you watching this from afar, you hear Anders kind of jolts back and goes, wow. You actually notice Eleander as well stop mid-sentence and turn and look at this fight brewing. Volric, what do you do?
Maybe you just knew his moves. I'm not convinced yet. I'll stand back up.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. So you're just offering another attack? Okay, what do you do, Brax?
All right. At this point, he's being taunted, so it's no longer completely friendly.
Okay.
He's going to go straight in for 2 unarmed attacks.
Go for it.
Let's see. Where's my other strike?
Quick to
18.
Say real quick.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I know I usually get in trouble when I do things like this, but is this supposed to happen?
Yes.
You are. Yeah. You're.
Oh yes.
We're closing a little bit here.
Okay.
We talked about this.
Okay. Let me know when I need to stop this.
Chinyar will say to Aspen, I'm not healing him. And then she'll look at Volric and then look at Aspen. How about you? I'm not healing him.
He'll be fine. He can slip it off.
He's an ass.
It's all right. It's Volric's way.
Oh.
It's how he meets his
Okay.
old friends.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, if you say so.
Being an ass.
That's why if I ever become his old friend, I'm going to avoid him.
Good plan.
My question to my buddy James is, how do you describe that strike that you just got an 18 on?
So as you're standing back up and you kind of do one of these, he's going to squat down and swing straight in towards the gut for the first strike.
So, and that, Noelle, sweetheart, don't hit those cables, okay? So you strike perfectly square right in my solar plexus, and from your experience, it would probably push past regular plate mail and do damage to my sternum, but something about this armor is just a little bit more powerful than you're used to. And I have a 19 armor class because of the magic armor. So
nice.
that's actually deflected.
Well, that was,
but you get an attack, right?
Yeah, that was the first attack. So your fist connects and you feel it just come to a dead stop. Volric only slides back an inch. Go ahead and make your next attack.
All right.
Oh, wait, by the way, there we go. Got it back. Never mind. You fixed it.
Am I getting the right? Oh, that's bummer. It looks like we'll hold out for this first attack, but it looks like what I have set up on my character sheet and what it was translated to Roll20 are a little off.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, because he should have a +7 attack instead of a +6 due to the tattoo.
Got it. Okay. So that would have actually been a 19.
Yeah, it would have been a 19.
Okay, so Volric slides back just an inch, and Volric, you feel that armor stop it as Brax is standing there, and then you feel this sudden pulse of intense pain shoot through your chest as you kind of buckle over. Roll the damage for that for me.
All right. Man, I don't want to start hurting people. That's an extra. That's 9.
9 points of damage as it into your chest. The wind knocked out of you, Volric. Go ahead and make your next attack.
Yeah, and so
I'm gonna add a key point to that and go stunning strike.
Okay, go for it.
So am I making a saving throw, or what's the?
Well, let's see if he hits first. Oh, this is the stunning strike.
No,
yeah.
So
yeah, like
save.
a smite, basically. It's after that.
Yeah. I have to hit first, but yeah.
You do notice that I roll a bit with it. The way that I position my armor seems to absorb some of it. I have heavy armor master.
Awesome.
Hey,
I take 6. But what's the saving throw?
13.
13 Constitution.
Yep.
Here we go.
And Volric, you feel
perfect.
You feel all of your muscles, tense up. Just from all of your perspective, it kind of looks like Volric just tanked this hit, and he's just standing there like very stoically. Brax, what do you do next? You clearly can tell that he's locked up. He is stunned.
I'm gonna look over to the rest of them, give a wave, walk over to Volric, smile, say, "And I thought I taught you better." And I'm just gonna push him over with my finger.
Volric falls down into the dust. The dust kicks up, and from behind, you watch as all the lizard folk start to let out this harsh laugh and grabbing their sides. Kind of clapping each other on the shoulder. One big lizard folk comes right up to you, Brax, and smacks you on the back, saying to you in Draconic, "That was a great hit."
Oh, there's more coming from that. But not right now.
So
I think they're reacquainted now.
Do you think that they finished?
on the ground with that?
Well, I certainly hope so.
Would either of you like some tea?
I'll send a telepathic message to Volric. Saying he is who he says he is.
Oh. And so back, you even hear me growing in my head, and I say, "It is. And I sit up, and you see this beaming smile on my face, Brax.
Yeah. I'll reach down and kind of get the whole arm to arm and pick him up.
Yep.
And even with all that armor, he just picks him up, no issue.
Awesome.
You beautiful, ugly master chef, master martial artist. You are alive. It is you. I can't believe this. Everyone, my friend, Brunduk.
Do you all come
Brunduk
over?
is a name that was taken away from me when I hit that ocean. I only go by Brex now.
Brex, master chef.
He taught me
at a time.
He taught me the things that I know. You know.
No, I tasted your cooking. He didn't teach you shit. Oh.
Yeah. Brax, you know, after all the training you did on the deck at night, it mattered. You know, I was taken prisoner. I was a slave for a decade, thanks to Sergal, and I was forced to fight, often barehanded. It was because of things you taught me that I survived. I thank you for that.
My father saw a lot in you, and from that asked he asked me to work with you when I could. And you see him kind of drift off in thought as he had mentioned his father.
I can't believe you're
No,
alive.
no, my apologies. The rest of you, please come in. He kind of the large lizard folk that stepped up, and he looks over and he says, "Head back to the camp. I'll be there soon."
Of course. And they turn and address the other lizard folk, and they all kind of file into formation and start to head off back towards the swamp area. You do notice, though, the two lizard folk are still standing stationary at the entrance to the tent.
Everyone, come here. Meet. So no Brunduk, huh? No longer?
No longer.
Respect that. Brax.
He continues while he's talking everything. Brax is just going to randomly start picking up stools and things like that, just a place for the rest of the party to sit down.
Okay.
All right. This is to my left here. This is Aize. He's a master scholar. He won't admit it, but he's a hell of a wizard. He has a talking book.
He has a talking book.
And the book floats out, and you hear a voice come out of it. Hello there, I'm Archive, as the book kind of flaps like that, yeah.
And this is Chenyar. As you can see, she's an elf.
Pleasure to meet you. Are we done now beating each other up?
We are.
Oh, so nice to meet you. Brax was your name?
Yes.
And she holds out her hand to shake yours. A pleasure.
It's very gruff, and he doesn't understand the idea of like don't squeeze, so it's just kind of very tight grip.
Oh, well done. Well done. And she sits down and continues to drink her tea.
Chenyar is both a priestess and a warrior, and someone that I've learned to count on quite quickly in the short time I've known her. This is Aspen. She has a very interesting history, but she is a warlock and a sorceress and another great warrior.
Seems you have a whole group of them around you. So at least my father taught you one thing. Keep a good group.
Yes. It's unfortunate you just missed Rin. She's my longtime companion and a slayer like you've never seen before. She had a really nasty falcon as well.
Well, hopefully she can get hit a little better.
So, tell me, how is it that you are here to help us with the Salwaga? And I understand the connection with the lizard folk is, have you been living in this area all this time?
Living here is a little different. After the lizard folk took me in, it took many years to gain trust with them. I made a very good friend with one of them, Kapeshk, from the tribe near here, and they gave me some gifts in order to stay close by and protect them. It was my responsibility at that point. They rescued me and saved my life. I do remember them saying that a small crew of people came through, but that was during a time I was out working on some negotiations to help them.
So we just missed you.
Seems that way.
Well, we are down actually 2 warriors in a fairly short amount of time that had to leave us. Would you possibly be able to join our group? Because we have been a bit of a spearhead, recently infiltrated the Salawagan Fortress. Is this something you can do?
Infiltrating is one thing. Mostly I've trained the lizard folk for the last couple months to get ready for this invasion. Now, how long have Nathan, how long has it been since I've started to reconnect with the actual people of Saltmarsh?
I
Like, would this be the
I don't.
first time I had been
Yeah,
there?
I
or-
think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is the first time you've been in Saltmarsh since 20 years ago. So it's been a
Yep.
very long time.
My trusting of these people was a bit off. But as long as the Queen doesn't need my assistance, I'd be happy to lend a hand.
Like the times of old. You would help us slay our enemies and fill our bellies all in the same night. And I can use someone to stand by my side. Now that I've lost the barbarian Sethreth and another slayer Rin, as I mentioned.
Slaying's way past my time, but protecting seems to be a new thing for me.
Yes, well, that is what we're trying to do.
You
Well, you're
hear.
certainly skilled.
Sorry, go ahead, Chenyar.
So Chinyar's gonna pipe up. Well, you're certainly skilled after seeing how you handled Volric.
He's got a weak spot right underneath that ridge
Good to know.
right there.
Now everybody
Know
knows.
the future.
Next thing you know, Aza is gonna floor me. Thanks a lot, Rax.
When the wizard floors you, there's bigger problems.
That humor.
You haven't seen our wizard. He's pretty badass.
Quite capable.
I blush profusely, and I raise my arms and I flex them.
It's remarkable. It's as if the fabric goes downward instead of upward. It's so strange. And in that moment, you hear the rustling of cloth and kind of clinking of beads as off just behind you at that entrance to the tent, the flap peels open, and stepping out, kind of leaning down and stepping up proudly in front of you all, you see Queen Othokent, the lizard folk queen. Her, let me see, I gotta pull up my descriptions here. Here we go. You see her there standing, very powerfully built. She has dark brown and yellow mottled scales with the bright red head frill. And her shoulders have those beautiful ornate pieces that are made up of bright red feathers and animal bones. And she has some fine gold jewelry kind of around the base of the neck and around the arms as she stands there, and the two guards sort of stiffen at attention, and she turns and looks over the group of you sitting there. She makes eye contact with you, Brax, and you see almost a very faint smile kind of curl up at the edges of her mouth, and then she looks over the rest of you and nods in acknowledgement and gestures for you to come to her side, Brax.
I apologize 1 second, and I walk over.
She leans down towards you. These are the ones I was speaking of. I heard a bit of a ruckus outside and some jovial talk. You know them?
A long time ago, before we all met, you took me in and protected me. Before that man there, and he points at Volric, that man protected me.
Good. Should make it a lot easier then for you to go along with them, as we discussed.
He nods.
And this is all said in Draconic. I know some of you speak Draconic, so you would pick up on it if you do, but otherwise you would not.
I'd be also speaking in Draconic, but with a very thick Dwarvish accent.
Yeah. She straightens up and turns to you all and speaking in common. I believe we're all summoned here for our final meeting. I look forward to seeing you all inside. Good to see you. As she turns and starts to stride with big, elegant, powerful legs, her tail swishing behind her as she walks up to the base of the tower, Eleander stiffening up and extending kind of an awkward handshake towards her that she sort of cocks her head and looks oddly down at it, smiles and gives him a handshake, and she is let within the tower. At this point, Anders comes walking up to you all, patting you on the back. Volric, Anders says, I'm glad I know that now. I can just hit you right there and you'll just fall over like a board. That's a neat trick.
Stop it.
I'm just, hey, you know. Well, I think we're ready to have the meeting, unless you all need to have more reunion time, but would that work for you all?
I looked for my flask.
Oh, where's your flask?
I handed that.
Wherever Volric dropped it.
Yeah, I would definitely dropped it.
You look for your flask. You see it down in the dirt, where with a very distinct imprint of Volric's body next to it.
Oh, great! Thanks, Volric.
I will open the archive so I can take notes, and I break out my flask, and and have it ready as well.
Excellent. As you get your flask and your book ready, Chenyar.
Chinyar is going to, as Aspen picks up her flask, she's going to come up behind Aspen and she's going to reach over very gently and she's going to cast Mending on the flask and make it whole again. And then she's going to look at Aspen and she's going to smile and very faintly nod.
The flask, where the massive dent in it was from Volric landing on it, you watch as it punk, and pops back into place and all the creases go away and it looks beautiful and polished once more.
I'll just give Shinyar's hand like a squeeze as a thank you. And I'll leave. Do I? Is it like still full or like halfway full? Is it enough to get me through the meeting?
There's like the bottom quarter. There's a little bit of liquid in there.
Okay, I look to Ayuze.
Yes.
Yeah, like you want to drink all of my whiskey. What do you have?
Oh, brandy.
That's and it's full. I think that'll last us through the entire meeting, right?
Oh, please indulge yourself.
Thank you. I kind of just like pour half of his into mine.
Amazing. Pouring that in, you have your flasks ready to go. And Anders starts to walk over towards the base of the tower. Do you all follow, or did you want to do any final moments here outside of the tower?
Would I have heard that he had mentioned brandy?
I think so. I think so. I don't think Aize, you weren't trying to be.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't being
as you share it, Vrax will give a bit of a grin, walk over, reach into into a small pouch on the side of it. Anybody speak Dwarvish here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you will hear him say brandy, or brandy. You hear him say ginger, and then he'll grab a small pinch of ginger and sprinkle it into your brandy. That should help.
Every little bit helps.
You get this beautiful, fragrant scent of ginger.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I don't speak Dwarvish.
He
but
said
thank
ginger.
you. Okay, thank you.
Ginger to brandy.
I thank you. I thank you in Dwarvish.
I kind of like taste it. I've never had this before. Thank you.
Amazing.
Old secret.
Can you tell me? Well, I know we can't do this right now, but I would love if you could, like, come with us later to have drinks and share all the stories you know about Volric. If you could. If you would
It might
want
take
to.
might take a very long time.
Oh, that's fine.
I
I'll share
can't
the
wait
best
to
one.
get you behind a hot stove.
We have one fully stocked. Isn't that right, Quartermaster?
Yes, we do. And as a matter of fact, I believe that. Oh, is that the sound of our current chef being fired? Ah,
We
perhaps
had a current
Baxter
chef?
stepped in.
Wait, hold on. Quartermaster?
Yes, that's me.
Oh,
No. Oh, I'm confused now. I thought I was.
I'm the quartermaster.
I thought-
No, you're the first mate.
I thought it was the same-ish terminologies. But okay. Yes, sir.
what happened to Captain?
Yeah. So a
Point
lot
at
of
shit.
things have happened since we've seen each other. One thing I like to do when I can, if I meet good people, I like to help them see their dreams, strive towards something they want in their life.
Didn't want the
Friend
responsibility.
Shifty Capone, you'll meet him.
You can see Volric gesture over, and there's a small halfling man who's currently rattling away to Eleander and Anders at the front door. And they actually seem to be like listening intently, despite his like small stature and like quick rattling away. There is a clear like level of
Respect there.
You see respect there. You see Eleander is every once in a while kind of like trying to like get him to get to the point. But they are like listening intently to what he has to say, and he's wearing this very big pirate hat with a big feather in it, I believe.
So that gentleman there, he's a talented smuggler and a brave soul and a good man. And he put his hand up to be captain of a ship that we were able to gain after a mission. And so therefore, I became the first mate. I was able to name the ship though. It's Diora. I'll tell you about that someday.
I'd love to hear it. Now, before we wait too long and the queen has my head, I have a feeling we need to go.
Yes. And by the way, Sensei, when all this is done, before we part ways again, if we do, the deck of that boat, a rematch, but this time, until one of us doesn't get up. You know, I miss those ass kickings you used to give me years
It's
ago.
a deal.
Ah,
He gets
Honor.
this giant grin on his face.
Does Chinyar hear this? Because I'm standing nearby, right?
probably, yeah.
Oh yeah.
She'll come up behind Volric and she'll go, "I'm not healing you.
Don't worry, he won't kill me.
I'm
The
not."
the bones will heal eventually. But will it be fun? Indeed.
Okay. I grab Shinyar's hand and I'm just like, we have a meeting.
Come inside.
I'm
You
not, I don't even know what to
Brax,
say to that.
Brax will smile, shake his head a little bit, and start his little squat walk all the way up to the
awesome.
tower.
So you all peel off and walk towards the base of the tower. Stepping inside the thick stone walls of the tower, you find a relatively large circular room. You can see some doors off to the back that lead to other areas, but within this room there's been set up a massive table with many documents spread out all over it, and you can see multiple individuals all gathered around this table. You see the full council there. There is Ida Oland, the older woman, dark skin, close cropped, salt and pepper hair, and she's kind of got this burly, solid frame to her. Old human woman standing there, just kind of glaring over all these documents and leaning over and saying a few words to another gentleman standing next to her, a kind of tall, oldish man, sort of blonde hair going gray, and he's got this big floppy hat on, bright deep blue eyes, and he wears very elegant clothing of like maroons and gold, and he seems to be kind of sort of half listening and rolling his eyes every once in a while, and then next to him you can see at the center is Eleander Fireborn, this big broad-shouldered human man with a beautifully carved peg leg at one side, and fiery red hair. Next to him you see a dwarf, a dwarven woman She's wearing like black riding boots and has this elegant black coat accented with like purple and gold. And her amber hair is draped down in front in an immaculate braid, which complements her perfectly groomed chin-strap beard. And she definitely has a bit of ruggedness in her hands that you can notice even from this distance. And then lastly, there's Anders, who is currently like walking to go stand next to Ida and Galen, who are the older woman and the kind of man with the foppish hat. And he is a very young man with straight black hair and big dark eyes, sharp features. And the other individuals you see in the room are there is a merfolk woman that you've all of you seen before. Brax, you would have seen her in the lizard folk lair leading up to the assault as the negotiations were happening with the different aquatic species of the region. You can see a large fish folk person, what are they called? Lokota, big round fish folk with a big wide mouth. There is... and then, of course, there's the queen standing there, and she is actually accompanied with what you would know, Brax, as her 2 diplomats that all of you saw come here first to Saltmarsh before she arrived. And with all of these people gathered, the council kind of waves you in as you all gather around the table, and Eleander looks across the group and then gestures towards Othokent, who comes to stand at his side. And she looks over you all. And she speaks to the group in common. Thank you all for coming here. We have a grave mission in front of us, but I think we'll be able to be successful. Speaking with Eleander here, we've devised a simple plan. Due to the fact that most of the armed forces of the militia for Saltmarsh are not going to be very capable under the waves, they will be leading an assault above, attacking the upper level of our old home. The lizard folk, the Lokota, and the merfolk will be leading a secondary assault beneath the waves, attacking the main entrance that you all identified as she gestures to the group of Volric, Chenyar, Yize, Aspen, and Shifty. The idea is that the militia will strike first, drawing the forces of the Sahuagin up from the lower levels. This will give the aquatic assault a fair chance at sweeping in from below and performing a pincer maneuver, hoping to crush our enemy in the middle. However, there's one issue. And she turns and looks towards Eleander. Eleander looks at the group. You all identified a monstrosity beneath the waves. This monstrous 2-headed shark that you saw within their temple that they had constructed. That thing will tear through all of us if it gets out. We believe strongly for this to succeed, that beast needs to be eliminated, taken off the board. We would like all of you, he gestures to the group of you, to act as a strike force. Ideally, you get in undetected, straight into the temple. When you get into position, you can use this, and he reaches into a pouch and pulls out this small stone and chucks it to Volric. Actually, he'll chuck it to Shifty. You know what? Sorry. He chucks it to Shifty. Shifty catches it and looks down at it. And Eleander looks down at Shifty. That's a sending stone. When you're in position, ready to strike the beast, you can contact me. we'll begin the assault then. If everything goes well, it should start to draw the forces away from that temple, giving you an opening to attack unhindered. If you're successful, you have some choices. You can sit and wait tight for reinforcements, as you'll be deep within enemy lines. Or you can try to regroup with one of the two assaulting fronts. You can meet up with the aquatic force, or try to make your way up top and meet the militia. Lastly, feel free to raise all hell within there. Every little bit will help. That's what we've come up with here for our plan. But of course, we're open to any ideas, any discussion, anything you might like to add.
I know Aize has something to add.
He steps back and opens the floor to you, Aize.
We've never seen the underside of the lair, and we've never entered from the underwater side. In order to reach the avatar creature, I'm assuming it's an avatar of Secular, their god, their shark god. Then the route that we know is from above, which means we'd be entering the same way we did before. This will be much harder because, well, we didn't exactly knock the last time and we slaughtered everything in our path. But probably be the best route to take, unless you think we should try coming from below, Volric.
Well, so that was a question I was going to ask. Because we were able to get them to open the doors the first time. There's no guarantee that we're going to be able to trick them to open the doors the second time. So now we have to talk about breaching either the front door up top or the gate in the bottom under C. Is there another way in? And I turn to the lizard folk that used to live there, the representative.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not sure. Based on the information you've given, it sounds that the Sahuagin have completely torn apart our old home, restructured it, rebuilt the halls. Eleander speaks up. Well, there's two ideas that we have. We did provide you with those potions. Those might be one way to get in. Combination of the invisibility potion with the gaseous cloud potion I believe we gave you might allow you to slip under the door and directly into where the stairs are. However,
finish.
However, you will need to drop your gaseous form once you reach the stairs, as you will not be able to penetrate beneath the waves in that form. But at least it would give you a good head start. The other idea... Go ahead, Volric.
This is a player question to the DM. I don't remember gaseous form potions.
Yeah, I believe that they gave you invisibility potions and gaseous form potions. Did they not?
I don't have it on the list.
Let me look here.
Gaseous form solves a lot of problems.
We're more than happy to take them.
Yeah, if I did... hold on. Yeah, let me double check. I thought I gave you those. Oh, you know what? I think they gave you... All right. Eleander goes, I'm terribly sorry. I got it mixed up. We gave you underwater breathing potions. Ida? Yeah, we... Damn it, Eleander. We do have some gaseous form potions. Hold on. We had to work with Kelladek. It was a real pain in the ass. Yes, we have some gaseous form potions that we can give you. I'm sure that would aid you a lot. So she goes, I'm sorry, what was that?
How many? We need at least 6.
Let me go. Hold on. Galen. Oh, yes. Right. Okay. Hold on. And he goes over into the back room and disappears for a bit. While he deals with that, we'll just give it a second. I think Eleander had one more thing he wanted to add.
Yes, I was going to say, the second idea that we had is we still have that Sahuagin prisoner that you brought back. Unfortunately, none of us are able to communicate with them. If one of you has a way of communicating with them, maybe you might be able to interrogate them and get some information. That is one other potential option. You hear the door open as Galen comes out with a sack in his hands that's kind of clinking as he comes up to the table and sets it down, peels it open. All right, what do we got here? Looks like we have 7. We have 7? My God, how much did we pay for that? Don't talk about it, Galen. 7. That work for you?
More than enough.
He slides it across the table towards your party.
Point of order: we will not require. Well, we won't require the potions of water breathing. I'll be using a water breathing spell on the group, and that lasts for 24 hours.
Would you mind giving those back then? These are very expensive. As Galen kind of leans across the table.
I think we should keep them. Does your spell require concentration?
No.
Okay, then maybe we don't need them.
We would appreciate
However,
it.
We did liberate a bunch of potions of water breathing from the Sahuagin lair. Those you didn't get to it.
You could keep those. That's just fine. But the ones we gave you, we would more than be happy to take those off your hands.
We've used most of them, Galen, and I do appreciate that there's a cost involved. But you do understand that you're sending us first to both defend and end the reign of these Sahuagin that are threatening the Salt Marsh.
Yes.
And a demonic god that's trying to turn the world into an abyss.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we're going to keep the underwater potions, thank you.
Oh, all right. Yes, of course. The business still must go on. I just was thinking. Anyways, okay, fine. And Ida grabs him and starts pulling him away.
Yeah, I was gonna say I messaged Galen to leave. Just go.
He shoots you a cold glance, and you hear back in your head, "Please do not interrupt me when I'm doing business," as he settles in and stands next to Ida. Eleander turns back to you all. So that is what we have on the table, quite literally. Those are the ideas we have to offer. But as I said, we're open.
No, this works admirably. We just get on the island, take gaseous form, slip under the door, make it to the stairs, materialize, kill anyone who's there, and so they don't alert anyone. I'll already have cast the water breathing spell, and then it's a matter of sneaking down and getting to the room where getting to the temple undetected. There were patrols, and there'll probably be heavier patrols this time, I imagine, because we breached them before. But, no risk, no reward.
There is an order of business, Aiza, you had mentioned. Because of your expertise, you could cast this underwater breathing multiple times. And
yes!
Some of these non-water breathing humans and elves could help us.
Oh no. We lost Chenyar. I will.
I could definitely put it on the. Oh, hold on. We lost Chenyar? Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Keep going.
I was planning on casting it on all the militia before we leave because I can ritual cast the spell. That way, even assuming they breach the upper levels, they're still able to assist below. That way, the Locata, the Locata and the lizard folk come from below. The militia come from above. We take care of the business in the middle, and then we all meet and clear the place out.
So, Eleander, how do you like a water-breathing human force?
That sounds wonderful. When can you start?
Well, hold on. Aize, don't we have that pipe that lets us seize people's dreams or whatever it was?
You want to interrogate the Sahagin?
Okay, yes. I mean, we can still learn valuable information even though we can't talk to him.
Oh, we can talk to him. It's just difficult. I believe Chenyar has a tongue spell.
Oh, then maybe we can talk to him.
I'm not sure of the specifics of it. I know that when I use comprehend language, it only works for me and it only goes one way. But between the pipe, tongues, comprehend language, and a mind probe, we might be able to get some information from the creature.
I think we should do that before we, set out. That way, if he knows something that we didn't know previously, we get that information before we get there.
But there's only one question that really comes to mind, and that is there another entrance? Besides,
Maybe he knows that.
he was a guard, he would know.
Hmm.
So if there is another entrance, one would think. Jenya, are you up for it?
Yes.
Uh,
Just give me a second. I lost the internet, guys.
That's okay. Otho Kent steps forward once more. And there's one more order of business. I would like one of my finest warriors, she looks towards you, Brax, to join this strike force, if it's all the same to you, as she looks over Fulric, Shifty, Aize, Chenyar, and Aspen.
Oh, yeah, I already counted him.
Oh, good.
Oh, he's coming. You're gonna
Thank you for your
alley of the deal, right?
Yes,
You're gonna
your
end up
queen.
underwater, accompany, with us. You're coming.
Thank you, your queen, for your offering Brax to us. Is most appreciated. And she will bow her head slightly towards the Lizard Queen. She has not met the Lizard Queen, but she knows that she's obviously...
Oh, Jeepers, that's right. You weren't with us. Queen Overkent. Yeah, we appreciate it, but we're planning on taking the gentleman with us regardless.
Ha. I see.
But
I
thank
don't
you.
doubt it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
welcome. I, as you are very well aware, our chief warrior, Irtos, is no longer with us and was misguided. I would like Brax here. And she really looks at you, Brax, locking eyes. I would like you to prove yourself in this mission. Do you understand?
In Draconic, he will... I understand what you're asking.
And she'll respond.
I know that
Go ahead.
you have spoken about an opportunity.
She'll speak back in Draconic. Yes. I think if you come out successful on the other side of this, there will be a permanent place for you within our home, with our people. You've done great things, Brax. This could be a great new step forward for all of us. And she turns back.
He'll bow very, very politely and step back.
Yeah, she turns back to the group and resumes in common. Well, thank you for accepting Brax into your group. And she...
He was already invited, my liege, and he has a history with me.
Ha!
There are few people that I could trust to have my back, stand beside me. He's one of them.
Indeed. Sounds like he often puts you on your back, too. And she...
Heard about that weak point, didn't you? Are you telling everybody, Brax?
I
didn't say a
do...
thing.
I do have ears, Fulric. You had your little scuffle right next to my tent. And she steps back to the rest of the group. And Eleander finishes off the meeting looking you all over.
Well then, feel free to come back to this place. We'll be strategizing for the rest of the day with the finer details. And if you find out anything with the Sahuagin, please come and inform us. We'll be setting out tomorrow, early in the morning. Aize, yes.
Sorry, how long is the journey take by ship to get there? Refresh my memory.
It will take us about, I believe it was like a little more than half a day. Yeah. We...
Here's what I recommend. Before we arrive at the lair, say when we're 10 miles out, have me transfer to your ship or wherever the militia are. I'll put the water breathing spell on them then. Then I'll return back to the Diora, put water breathing on our group, and then we move forward.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan.
But for now, we'll go have a chat with our prisoner.
There's one more bit, but Shifty is working on it. So we'll bring that up to you as soon as we get more information.
Yeah, let's talk to this Sahuagin first, and then we'll come back and we can have that discussion. All right. Good luck to you all. May the gods be with us tomorrow.
Yes, may they.
Okay.
You can expect us to kick some serious arse.
Anders smiles and looks over the rest of the council. I mean, you've heard the stories. All right, well, thank you. If any of you want to do anything before leaving this chamber, feel free to speak up now. Otherwise, the council goes back to their planning and discussing at the table amongst the various allies. And you all are free to do what you want to do. We have about 20 minutes left here, so we can probably do like a little bit more before we wrap this up. I'll open it up to all of you. What would you like to do?
Besides interrogate the saga?
Yeah, that's the next thing? Okay, perfect.
So as we're walking, to where the Sagawagan is that we're going to interrogate, Chinyar is going to say to Aize, would there be any difficulty in perhaps casting your spell an hour earlier than what you told everyone? And the only reason why I ask is because you just publicly told everyone when you're going to cast this spell. Maybe if you cast it an hour earlier, if there's any
spies
reason. Yes.
That's a good point.
I would keep this between us.
Oh, that's some good tradecraft.
Yes, I would keep it between us and then cast your spell an hour earlier to give them safe passage just in case someone tries to prevent it.
Yes, or more likely they'll try to assassinate me.
Yes.
But I'm more worried about that. But that's a good point. Well, we'll be on the Diora and part of the flotilla, so to speak. So we can decide whenever we want. Just say, hey, we're going to stop here and cast it, whether it's an hour before or whenever. But thank you, Kinyar. That's a good idea. Excellent. I hadn't considered that there were any traitors present, but one can never be too careful.
One must always consider there are traitors present and be careful.
Yes.
You while you're having this conversation, you were told where to go to find the Sahuagin. And you were told to go to the barracks just south of the tower. You start to walk down the dusty road, the two of you having this conversation, and up ahead you can see a squat stone building with very, very thin windows, almost arrow slit-like along the exterior of it, and a big, heavy, reinforced door. Stepping inside, you are led down into the basement area. Excuse me.
led down into the basement area of the barracks where, going down a set of winding stone stairs, it opens up into a narrow corridor, and you can see reinforced iron bars of different cells extending down. There appears to be about 6 cells within here, and at the very end, as the jailmaster is kind of pointing with an old gnarled finger down at the end of the hall, finger slightly shaking, he kind of looks nervously at you all. It's down there. And you can already smell a strong scent of like salt, and you can hear this strange sort of like, it sounds like someone pacing, but it's a little like wetter, like these wet feet kind of on the stone. And as you walk down this stone corridor and start to see the image of the creature within peeling back, you can see behind the bars a very broad, burly-looking fish-like creature, wide mouth. It has dark green skin with that sort of like rough, shark-like texture on it. Fins extending off the top of the head and down the sides of the neck. And as it turns and looks, you just see hollow black eyes looking back at you. You see next to it is a large wooden tub that it is kind of leaning over, and its hand is sort of ducked into it as it looks at you and finishes raising it up and splashing water over its skin. And you notice that it had to do it with both hands. They are manacled together, and the feet as well are manacled together, the chains clinking on the stone. And it sort of turns and faces you square with its shoulders, looking through the bars. What?
Oh,
Sorry, I just wanted to say I did follow along.
Yeah.
What's behind them?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm there as well.
Okay. And you say?
Volric and Brax, do you believe you could subdue it? Immobilize the creature while it's chained?
In the way you want it to mobilize, but yes.
Make sure.
Oh no, I just don't want it biting me.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else, for a matter, but particularly me.
I could manage that.
Did the guard give us keys?
The guard is like at the back of the group near Aspen, clutching onto the keys at their side.
I hold my hand out to him and say, "The keys, please."
Gingerly extends the ring and places it in your hand.
I hand the keys to Aspen.
Why me? Whatever. I'll go open.
Go on.
I'll go open, unlock the door, and step inside.
Oh, okay. So you step up.
As she's doing this, I'm going to go with her as protection.
Okay. So Aspen, you walk up, unlock the door. The bar swings open and you step inside with Chenyar closely behind. This creature standing there. And as you go to close the door, it is going to lunge towards you. It's just manacled around the arms and the legs. It's not connected to the wall. So it lunges towards you, the mouth unhinging, rows of teeth right towards your arm.
I cast Hold Person on it.
You cast Hold Person. Let me see. Okay, yeah, actually it does work on this creature. What does it make? What kind of save?
I believe it is a Wisdom save,
Okay.
DC 16.
Oh my god, it got exactly a 16.
A 16.
And
Gosh.
it lunges towards you, and it is going to try to bite you. It only got an 8. So it kind of, with the manacles, it sort of awkwardly flops onto you, and the jaws snap just before they latch onto your neck, and you're able to kind of hold it back as it's standing there.
Ow. Oh
Let me know when I
no.
can go
You
as well.
bit me. Oh, man, that hurt. And then I just like, oh no. I want to do that, but I don't think I'm going to be allowed to. I kind of like just push it backwards.
Okay.
And I look to Shinyar.
Okay, if you're going to try to push it backwards, go ahead and make a athletics check for me. It's also going to make one at disadvantage because it's restrained.
got a 4, so I think it's gonna beat that.
It also got a 4. It rolled a natural 1 though, so I'll say that is a failure. So yeah, you're able to push it back, and it kind of stumbles back and flops down onto the floor. The mouth gnashing in your direction.
Gentlemen, if you could assist.
Let me know when I can go.
Yeah, go for it, Volric.
Right, so I'm going to launch myself into the room. I'm going to use a bonus action. I'm going to do Giant's Might, which will not allow me to grow very big because it's probably not a 10-foot tall cell, right? Or 9-foot tall. So, but I still get the bonus of the strength. And so, Brax, you see every rune that I have on my person, on my sword, on my shield, a necklace, they all kind of glow at the same time. And you see some kind of surge of energy. And you can tell by the way I'm moving that I'm stronger. And I'm going to take my shield and I want to basically, I'm going to grapple him, but defining as pressing my shield against him and pinning him against the wall.
Awesome.
So he cannot reach us.
Awesome.
So basically it's it'll be a grapple.
Yeah.
If you want to do a shove or whatever.
Yeah, go ahead and make your athletics check. And Brax, you do see in this tiny cell, Volric does swell and seem to fill the cell as he pushes down on this creature. Go ahead and make that athletics at advantage.
While he does that, I'm just going to slowly, as the last person in, step in and just grab the gate and just close the door behind me.
Awesome. It shuts.
Got a 17.
A 17, easily you restrain this creature. It's pushed up against the wall, mouth gnashing, every once in a while kind of scraping against the shield, making that horrible sound of screeching metal, but it can't do anything. It is restrained.
All right, I will cast a comprehend languages, and it's
Okay.
stealth only.
I look to Shinyar. Can you cast tongues on the both of us or just one of us?
I would have to cast it twice, I think. Let me just see. Is this concentration? No.
Can you?
So I can cast it on both of you, but it's not concentration, so I'll have to cast it twice.
Can you do the VTT for that? What does tongues do? I just did.
Excuse me. Spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. Moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says.
Yeah. So you could cast it on yourself and speak to an entire room of different creatures that all speak different languages, and they will all understand you. And when they speak back in their respective languages, you would understand them as well. If you cast it on yourself, or you could cast it on another creature in the same thing. But yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, comprehend languages only enables me to understand.
Correct.
Okay.
So I will cast this on Aize and Aspen.
Okay. Yeah, Aize, if you don't want to cast comprehend languages, you can save that spell slot as
Okay. I'll save it.
as Chenyar casts tongues on the two of you. As the spell energy is released on both of you, you can hear the creature struggling back there, gnashing and scraping its teeth against the shield, and the strange guttural sounds that are coming out of it start to swirl in your mind and translate into words as it's sitting there going, and you start to hear, "Your flesh will be devoured by Sekula. You will all be devoured. The great storm is coming!" As it just is gnashing and trying to break free of Volric.
You're putting up a fight you won't win.
It suddenly stops and looks at Aspen. Its eyes go wide.
I'll break out the pipe.
Okay.
Stuff some. Oh my goodness. Well, tobacco. That's all I got. Tobacco.
Okay.
The bubble pipe. Dream pipe.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting. I look at Aspen. I said, I mean, he's not human. How do we? I don't even know if he can smoke. Well, we'll find out.
Well,
All right.
he has gills. I guess we stick it in one of.
Good idea. We shove it in his gills. All right.
Yeah, I mean, what can he do? Volric has him.
Would I would I have known that that's how they like that would work or not? Being around the lizard folk as long as I
Yeah.
have.
Go ahead and make. I'll give you. Can make either history or nature check, with advantage, and we'll see what you know
Okay.
about Sahuagin.
Well, you know, both are 0, so let's see how this goes.
There you go. Okay, a 12. I mean, I'll give you this. You know that the Sahuagin, they are primarily amphibious, and in fact, if they stay out of the water for too long, they will start to suffocate. And they do indeed have, you can see there are the exposed gill slits along the neck. That it might work. The tricky part is that you start to surmise what they're trying to do to try to force it to inhale this smoke. The gills, there's multiple like points of entry. Like, sure, it'll be inhaled, but it may not necessarily. It might
Penetrate.
work, but yeah, it might not really work like
Yeah.
the way you could with a humanoid with like a nose, right? You could like plug their nose and force them to like take a big inhale of it, but
Yeah,
it might work.
it's
No,
that
here's
might not work, but up to you.
it's just an enhancement. What the pipe does is whatever the person is thinking of, the pipe smoke will materialize the bubbles and we will see it. I'm not even sure if it would work on the Sahagin, but you know, it adds embellishment to their tale.
Well, if we clamp his mouth shut, won't he have to use those gills?
I'm not
It's
sure
not
if the mouth is involved with breathing at all. Sorry, go ahead, Brax. You were saying something.
It's not that it would be, you know, it has to connect to an area where it would actually gain the intellect, and it could work. I do know, however, a very easy way to get this creature to speak would be to slowly let it dry out.
Ah,
I was thinking that. I'm like, I walk over to the bucket of water that they gave him, the basin, and I will try to pull it like further away from him. And does he have like a cup or can we get like a cup or something from the jailer?
Sure, yeah, you can get that.
Okay. If you let him dry out, like our friend Brax says, I think he'd be more willing to talk.
We'll take
whether
ours.
he's dry or not,
You can try the pipe.
yeah. I mean, I'm not much of a favor for torture, but I prefer mind probes myself, and which doesn't necessitate torture. But we could try the pipe and the mind probe. I was just thinking, Aspen, you ask him if there's another entrance. Oh, actually, I'll whisper this because this punk understands everything we're saying, right?
Okay.
I'll leave.
So you're
whisper to
whispering.
Yeah, I'm whispering to Aspen. Actually, I won't whisper. I'll just open archive and I'll write it and I'll hold it up the page to her so she can see it.
Okay.
Ask him if there's another entrance to the lair,
Okay.
where it is, and
Okay.
or just ask him not to think about the other entrance to the lair. and
Gotcha.
Alright.
I think I could do
shove the
that.
pipe in and mind probe him when you do it. How's that sound?
Okay. I'll walk up, lean over by Volric. My eyes will turn red, as they do. Well, I'm sorry about this, but can you not think about any other entrances to your Sahaga lair?
Shove the pipe in.
Okay. So you're just putting it into the gills?
Yeah, I'll just push it in.
Okay. Okay.
When he does that, I'm thinking in my head. I'm thinking to hell with it. I'm gonna, with my free hand, I'm gonna try and grab his mouth and just squeeze it shut.
Okay.
So
Oh,
no,
shit.
he has
All right.
to move those gills.
Okay. Okay, a couple things here. Volric, go ahead and make that athletics check. Aspen, make an intimidation check for me. And
28.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. So, what did you get? Sorry, you got a 28. Oh my goodness. 28. Aspen, you can make it with advantage because of. Oh,
Okay.
what is favored by the god? Oh, is that like a reroll?
That lets me roll 2d4 if I fail the check.
Got it.
Do I still get the advantage?
You get the advantage, yeah, because
Okay.
of this. I mean, you have this creature pinned. Volric is squeezing the mouth. 19. Okay. It's struggling. The mouth pinned shut. The gills working very intensely. The pipe, you kind of put it in there, and it like squeams, and you see some smoke sort of trickling through, but it doesn't really seem to be functioning the way you would expect. It just kind of disappears into the creature, but does not exhale outwards. And you see it squeaming very uncomfortably. But as you say that, Aize, are you casting the Detect Thoughts or no?
Yeah, I'm probing him.
Are you gonna do the deeper?
I put it in VTT.
Perfect.
He needs to hang on. Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
DC 16.
Oh, I got a natural 20. Okay.
Come on.
It's squirming, and you try to push through those deeper thoughts, and all you see is darkness before you, and then these little glints of light appearing kind of around you in an arc, and then 2 glints appearing above that arc. And as the light starts to fill your vision, as you're focusing in on this creature, you realize that you are standing before a massive mouth filled with teeth as it starts to come out of the shadow, enveloping your entire vision. And you see 2 black eyes staring out at you from the darkness as the shape of a huge shark mouth looms before you, and it squirms and squirms, and you can kind of hear it under Volric's hand gripping.
Trying to say something, I think.
He resisted, but there is an entrance.
Can you do this again?
Not until tomorrow.
Oh, I am so sorry.
No,
I
it's
should
fine.
baned him.
Okay, you let go of the mouth.
Oh! Well, it's something to consider for next time. I think there is another entrance, but I'm sorry, I couldn't get through it. It's stubborn. It's quite willful.
The creature has its eyes locked on Aspen, and Aize, those surface thoughts swirl once more, and that mouth dissipates, and you get images of this creature itself, very small, and being slowly pulled apart by sharks swimming around it. And you get this really strong adrenaline rush coursing through your body as this creature is staring up at Aspen, trying to struggle against Volric's pressing might.
I switched to Celestial. Oh no, I've got tongues on me. It doesn't matter what language I speak.
Yeah.
Actually no, I'll do telepathy to Aspen. I said he's terrified of you. I think buying him out and you asking him nicely, well, not nicely, he should break.
I can ask him nicely. I just turn to him.
Uh-huh.
I just turn to him and I just kind of like, no, I'm not gonna touch him. I just say to him, "Do you want to go home? I know you don't like being here."
Are you offering to release me?
I would absolutely love to offer you that, but I need something from you
What is it?
Is there another entrance?
Yes. Will you release me, please?
Will you take us there?
Yes.
I look at you,
I'm going to do insight on him.
Okay,
as he's saying this to her.
go ahead.
I don't understand what he's saying, but just the way he's saying it, I wanted to do an insight.
Okay, roll an insight check, and we'll see what you get as this creature staring up in utter fear at Aspen, trying to negotiate this deal. We'll see what Chenyar is able to pick up on. 12. I mean,
12.
You see the fear in this creature's eyes, and you see it in its body language. And as they kind of cower back, Aspen leaning over them, Volric pressing down with the shield. We are at 9 o'clock, so it looks up at Aspen, revealing this bit of information it has, pleading to be let go if it tells you. And we'll pick up there next time, as it seems to be breaking and willing to speak with you all and divulge information. With that, though, before we fully jump off here, I just want to give the floor to James really quick before we sign off. James, can you just, if you don't mind, just do a quick plug, tell us about yourself, what if there's anything you would like our audience to know about. The floor is yours.
Sure. So my name's James. I am the lead dungeon master and host over at the channel tabletop_misfits on Twitch. You can find us there every Wednesday at 9 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 p.m. Currently, we are digging through the One Ring RPG, and it's a fun, collaborative, very DM light campaign that I'm just getting to kind of tell a story with other friends. And then on Wednesday nights, you can come hang out with me as I bring special guests every week, where we talk D&D, create characters, and have lots of fun. So, and thank you very much, Nathan and the crew, for letting me come in for as long as you'll have me. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, James. We plan to have you here for, this arc of the whatever happens next with the Sahuagin. And once that is complete, we'll hope to see you again someday. Eric, did you want to say something before we sign off entirely?
No, just I wanted to make sure that everyone knew that those 9 p.m. slots were Eastern time.
Yes.
And I'm so bad at that. So
that's all right. I got your back, brother.
I appreciate it.
And yeah, he's got great shows. So I've been lucky enough to be interviewed by James, as well as watch some of his shows. So definitely check him out. He rocks.
Awesome. Well, with that, let us sign off, because for our East Coast folks, it's very late. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining, players and everyone alike, and we will see you next week.